What's up, everybody? Welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking more about context profiles, and more specifically, not what they are, but how to actually make them. So real tangible examples for like brand voice, your ICP, product service details, business details, mindset stuff, personal values and ethics profile, and a few really tangible examples. So by the end of this video, you are actually going to be able to create context profiles and use them effectively. Now, if you haven't watched any of our other videos, what is a context profile? Basically, you're taking what you would normally just feed it. Let's say I have like a 5-page Google Doc on who my ideal customer is for my business, right? Instead of feeding that in just normal English language, sometimes AI will forget things, and sometimes it will not parse the information properly, and it will basically read that. You got to think, AI is scanning this big document, and then you're asking it to do things with this document and reference the document and go back and forth. And sometimes things get lost. So basically all we're doing is converting that English language into either like XML Markdown or into what is called JSON, which is just this organizational structure that you see right here. So basically it's in brackets, and it's just telling AI like, hey, this is the brand voice profile. Here's tone. Here's the options for tone. Here's sentence structure. Here's the options for sentence structure. So if that makes sense to you, again, all you have to do is really take this raw information, feed it to the AI, and say, hey, GPT or whatever, turn this into a context profile. And it actually will do a pretty dang good job at doing so. And then you use that profile for everything. So what we're going to cover is how to actually build those and really like what is the background. So when you're using AI, guys, I really want to stress, this is probably the most important thing about AI and about teaching AI rather than just like the tools. So like, oh, you have like this tool does this tool does this. This is the raw fundamental building blocks of all AI and all LLMs. And so if you know how to do this, you're going to get really good results. So let's jump right in. So what is context? Context refers to the surrounding information that helps an AI model understand the meaning and intent of a specific output. Remember, this is just a machine. It is basically a giant database with rules on how to use that data. And so when you give it something, it needs to understand. So it's the who, what, where, when, and why, and gives meaning to your input. And so if I'm writing advanced things like advanced copy, or I'm doing some research or something specific that is kind of detailed, this makes the detail actually good rather than where you see people complain about like, oh, AI doesn't work for me. It works for you, you just don't use it right, okay? So what is context management? Management is creating detailed instruction manuals for AI. So instead of you explaining your business from scratch every time, you build a reusable context profile that contains all the relevant information that AI needs. So for example, in my GPT, I have saved so much data on Kendo AI, our pricing, our structure, what it does, who it's for, who our ICP is. And so then all I have to do is like really ask questions, and I basically have a Kendo AI specific ChatGPT model. So it's not me reminding it every time, like, hey, here's my pricing, what should I do with this? Or can you do the math on this? Or run a financial model with this? It already knows because I've gone ahead and taken the liberty of making one of these. And so you can use these for your audience, your brand voice, so everything sounds the same, your product details, like I just mentioned, your company background, character traits, competitor profiles, mindset stuff, personal values, therapy kind of thing. Like you can use it for really whatever. But the magic happens when you combine these. So I want an ICP profile, I want a VSL instruction profile. Put those together, and I'm getting really good copy. That's just an example for you. So you build these once, you use them forever. And so here's a traditional approach. Help me break down my top 5 biggest business problems. Here's the context-based approach. Here is all the information, okay, about my business. And these are just the structure to kind of give you an idea. So let's go over these examples. Make sure you guys take notes on this. This is like really helpful, and I guarantee you it's going to transform the way you use AI. Okay, so number 1 is your ICP. So your ICP is your ideal client profile. And now think of this as the hub of information for every piece of copy, really everything that you would do towards this specific customer. So if this is your specific customer, let's say ICP 1, just for example, everything I do from now on in an LLM or within AI should reference ICP 1 as a context profile. So I'm not going to read through this whole thing. You can screenshot this and then just feed it to ChatGPT. But basically what we're doing here is we're giving instructions to do deep research on your ICP and then organize that research into, not raw text, but into the ideal client profile. So if I were to feed this, just for example, if I were going to do this for Kendo, if I fed this, I'd say, hey, do like this giant prompt here, do this research for Kendo. Here's my ICP. We sell to sales companies, any sales team basically, right? Insurance, B2B, tech, solar, roofing, whatever. Make a deep research context profile basically with this prompt. So then I'm going to format that into this JSON. I'm going to save this. This is my now ICP context profile, okay? Inside of AI Insiders, our community, we have a very smooth way of doing this. So this is the free way to explain to you guys, but we have something that takes this up even another notch. But you need to organize them like this, okay? So then we take that, and let's say we're going to write copy and tweets and emails and scripts and everything, right? We want it to sound like us. We don't want it to sound like not our company, like our brand voice. Like for example, you look at someone's Twitter and you look at someone else's Twitter, you can often tell who is running that Twitter account even without seeing the profile because you know the voice, right? So you're going to gather 10 to 15 pieces of your best content. So YouTube videos, transcripts, tweets, emails, whatever. And you're going to put this prompt into Claude. You're going to say, from the following content samples, analyze my brand voice and create a detailed JSON brand voice profile. So now we have our ICP profile, and now we also have our brand voice profile. So you kind of can start to piece together what we're doing here. So now we know who we're writing for, or like doing things for. Like I just use copywriting because it's a easy visual example. And then now we have, here's how it should sound. So who are we targeting? How should all the things that we're making sound or feel or read as, okay? Now product or service details. Manually fill these out, by the way, because you know this information, AI doesn't. So features and benefits, unique selling points, product language, objections and rebuttals. Again, package this with AI into your context profile. So now we've got ICP, brand voice, our product or service, and then next we've got business details. So your mission, your vision, because you want everything to be holistic, right? Your mission, your vision, your core offering, your target market description, a little bit more of this. This comes from the ICP, but we can refine this. Brand personality and messaging, business processes and strengths. Again, hey, GPT, Claude, whatever, analyze this, turn it into a JSON context profile. And then I would just make a Notion or Google Doc and I would save all of these. And then you can actually upload these as the project instructions that you can save. And in one of our other videos, we showed that. You can basically save project instructions as a separate like project or GPT. Saving that is going to allow you to really go back and chat with whatever that is that you're using it for. Again, this can be anything. And it's going to have all this context going in. So when you say context, like think of literally, I'm talking to a human being and I'm like, oh, can you give me some more context? That's what it is. It's information. It's like, what am I doing? What am I using this for? What are we trying to accomplish? You know, it's the same thing. You're just giving it to AI. Next, we have a mindset profile. This one's actually really cool. So you prompt the AI as the mindset interviewer. So I'll read some of this one. You're a thoughtful mindset coach and philosopher. And I would even take this a step further. I wrote this down just for this video. But again, remember on one of our past videos, like the 8, I think it was called like the 8 prompting secrets or something. If you label AI as a person, so I could say, hey, you are Plato. You are Marcus Aurelius. You are some philosopher or mindset coach that you want, right? You're Joe Dispenza. Your job is to uncover the core beliefs, values, fears, motivations, and perspectives of me. Ask me 20 whatever questions, and then you're going to fill out these questions, and then this is going to profile you. So not the business or the ICP. This is going to profile you, your core beliefs, your values, your motives, your fears, your internal conflicts, your ambitions. And so then when you communicate with this profile or this project instruction, it knows who you are, more so than just the conversation you're having. Now, this gets kind of dystopian and kind of crazy. I don't know if you want to give all your information to AI, but if you're going to use it as like someone to bounce ideas and communicate with, this really, really changes the game because then it knows exactly who you are. And then you can even add in here, I've been doing this with some of my prompts, add in at the end, hey, every new piece of information I give you about me, save it to memory, and it will save it into your context memory. And then finally, we have personal values and ethics. So reflect and articulate your guiding principles. This is if you want to use this for more not spiritual, but more like dystopian stuff. What principles would you defend even if it meant losing money or clients, right? Think about a time when you felt proud of how you handled a difficult situation. So you're basically answering these like psychological eval questions, and you're going to organize these again into JSON. So give it back to AI. Hey, here is this. Turn it into JSON. Save it. Okay. Now what can we do with these? Well, let's break this down. So now that's only a handful of the profiles you can create, by the way. There's a million variations of this, but you have a lot of the building blocks you need now. And so now you need to understand the 3 steps of you creating a context profile. So you have the data collection, which is what I explained to you of like the deep research, formatting it into a context profile, right? Then we have the structure and format, which is JSON. You can do this in XML, which is Markdown. I just do JSON. It's easy. I know how to read it now. It's easy, robot language. And then step 3 is you want to test and refine this. So these might not be perfect. You might have to tweak these. And so you want to get the result back, get the output, and then make changes. And the way you make changes is you say, hey, AI, I noticed you did this when I got the feedback from this. I don't like that. Let's change this so that next time, or format the context profile so that X happens, or so that X is different, right? You give it back, you get it back, you give it back again, you give it back, right? Go reference that 8 steps video that we made. It's very helpful. So you want to make a central context management doc where you can save all these profiles and reference them later on when you need them. So I just do them like this. This is how we do all of the like backend prompts for Kendo, which there's a shit ton now. So your brand voice, your mindset, your ICP, your routine, all these sort of things. And the result is you are going to save massive amount of time and you're going to get much better results. You're basically supercharging your own AI, and your GPT, if it's like $20 a month, now has become the most valuable thing you have. It's pretty crazy. No more editing outputs, no more telling it to sound human, no more of any of this. It does it the first time. It's a game changer. It really is. And I know it sounds like boring and it probably isn't like clickbaity, whatever, but guys, this is why I am getting such good output from AI. This is why Kendo is such a good product, is because we've really, really mastered building these, how to use them, how to integrate them, how to mix them between all the different applications and softwares and departments and everything that we have to do in business, which is a complex organism, right? It's a complex structure, ecosystem. And every piece of content you're going to make is going to get better. Every AI interaction becomes more valuable. Every business communication with GPT becomes more effective. And this, my friends, is how you win AI in 2025, okay? This is a game changer. This is what will separate you from everybody else, okay? So if you want to learn more about this and you're kind of asking yourself like, hey, I wish there was like a school for this, like where could I learn all this really cool AI stuff, not just the AI stuff, but how to make money with it, check out the link in the description. We just opened up AI Insiders to the public for the first time. We haven't done a big marketing launch yet. We still haven't pushed our VSL yet. We've got some insane guys inside. There's guys making $300,000 a month inside of Insiders right now. And we talk about this stuff and how to use this to make money and actually grow businesses. Okay, so anyway, thank you for watching the video. Like, subscribe, do the thing, check out the link, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Let me know what you think. God bless.